Season 5 Reloaded for Cold War Zombies has just dropped, and with it brings a load of new content, some changes, and even some secrets. And we're going to be going over every one of them in this video. Strap yourself in because we've got a lot to cover. Like the video, subscribe if you're new, and if you want to be extra awesome and you're getting anything from the store, be sure to pop code Dalek in your supporter creator in the store. But the first major new piece of content is the new Armada map in Outbreak. Now, I know Outbreak's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's always good to see new content in Outbreak, and this map is absolutely fantastic in Outbreak. I really didn't expect this map to play so well, but it is so fun. I would love to see Treyarch expand on this idea and bring us another zombies map set on a boat. I mean, we did have Voyage of Despair, but this just flows and works really well. It's super chaotic. You can drive the speedboats and other things around in the water, which we've not seen before yet in Outbreak Zombies, I don't think. And it's just so much fun being able to zip line across, swim around. Didn't think that this would work, but it works really well. On top of that, both on this map and the recent new region Collateral, there is a ton of hidden intels for you to collect. And these are in very difficult places. Some are even underwater under some of these boats. So there is a lot of very interesting intel, and I'll be breaking it all down in videos over the next few days. So be sure to keep on the lookout for that, as the storyline is getting very juicy and is getting us towards that final DLC map. Now, there's two other significant additions with Season 5 Reloaded in the form of a new world event, which adds as a free Pack-a-Punch Easter egg, and this is the Black Chest event. Now, if you look on your mini-map and you see this icon of a open box, this is the Black Chest event. So when you make your way over to it, you're going to find a chest similar to what you've seen for the golden loot chests, but this is just sparkling with dark ether energy. There is a weird voice talking to you as you get close to it, and unlocking the Black Chest is going to start a little mini world event Easter egg of sorts, where these three orbs are going to suddenly shoot out in different directions, and you're going to have to basically shoot them until they're destroyed. A bit like the orb that you get for the 3 points Easter egg, although this is very different because it flies around in a complete random direction and is very difficult to hit, and the orb just keeps coming back towards you, slamming you in the face and slightly blurring you, and what you've got to do is just inflict enough damage into the orb that it disappears, and repeat this 3 times. Now, this will take you a little while because, again, the orb just has a complete mind of its own. It will just fly around for a considerable amount of time before just flying right into your face, and that's when you want to make sure you're getting all of those hits on it. But once you've finally gotten all 3 orbs and you go up to the Black Chest to open it, you'll be rewarded with a few awesome items, and you will see a ghostly black spirit very similar to the Demented Echoes, and he's going to reward you with some awesome items. One of this includes a silver chalice, which we've only seen in Onslaught mode. This has never actually made it to Outbreak or round base, I don't believe, and this gives you a free Pack-a-Punch upgrade. Now, this is only from a non-papped weapon to a Pack-a-Punch tier 1, but if you get this on a very early wave, like round 1 or 2, this will save you 5,000 points, and it's just another amazing thing that they've added to basically make Outbreak a little bit easier and for you to be able to set up a lot sooner. On top of that, you're also given level 2 tier armor, which I don't believe we've had drop before either, and in later rounds doing this event, you will still only get a silver chalice drop, but you can get a tier 3 armor drop. So combining this along with the recent additional chopper world event, you'll be getting a ridiculous amount of salvage, and you won't even need to really spend it because you'll be getting, you know, the tier 3 armor. You can save that salvage to upgrade your weapon loadout tier. And one really interesting addition with this that I didn't actually realize when recording the footage is that once you've done this world event and you're about to die on 1 HP, the spirit will summon in front of you and kill the zombies before you have a chance of actually going down. So it is absolutely worth doing this for that free Pack-a-Punch and for essentially getting Dying Wish. Now, the real star of the show with the Season 5 Reloaded update is the Rampage Inducer feature added on all round-based maps, which is essentially Cold War's version of a hardcore zombies mode. So how this works is that there is a essence canister in the starting area of each map. All players have to vote to activate it and induce Rampage, and once active, the spawn rate and movement speed of zombies will be increased until round 20 for a much more intense experience. At any time, you can turn this off, but this is incredibly fun. It does make Cold War Zombies a lot more difficult, and it's very fun, but it's also quite punishing. It just means that you don't have to spend so long in that spawn room killing zombies. You can just very very, very quickly rack up those kills, get those rounds churned out, and get right to work. So if you want to add some spice to speed runs, this is great. Maybe you like to hit higher rounds faster, and this is for you. Now, I jumped into a 4-player game with Codename Pizza, Kingman, and Yatu Chavez to try and complete the Mauer Easter egg on this hardcore mode, because it is the hardest Easter egg with this mode enabled, and it was a lot of fun and very challenging, and I'll probably post that as a video very, very soon in full. The one complaint I have about this feature is that after round 20, it deactivates, and I would love there to be maybe some sort of additional feature or vote in the future where you can have this permanently for the entire game. Like, why should it end at round 20? I want this to keep going. Maybe some of you guys will agree, maybe some of you will disagree. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on this down below if you've had a chance to try this feature. There is also a brand new game mode added to Onslaught for PlayStation players called Diminishing Light. Now, what this does is you still have the basic premise of Onslaught where you have to kill zombies within the orb, the orb moves, but this time around, as the orb is in play, the actual zone that you have to play in shrinks, and you need to kill zombies to quickly fill the orb and get it to move. Otherwise, the zone just keeps getting smaller and smaller. Think of like a traditional battle royale game where the storm is coming in and the map gets smaller and smaller. That's essentially how this game mode works. Now, you do get some power-up drops from zombies, which are timers straight out of the cranked game mode where it freezes the orb for a few seconds, so you have a bit more time to kill some zombies and basically set yourself up. But this is quite a hectic mode, definitely a lot of fun, and part of me thinks this should be how Onslaught is from the very get-go, because it just adds so much more urgency to try and get the orb filled and keep those rounds going. It is actually pretty difficult. Is it the greatest mode that we've seen yet in Onslaught? Absolutely not. I feel that some of the other Onslaught game modes that they've added in other seasons have been absolutely fantastic, especially ones where there is no slowdown on spawns. Maybe that was the inspiration behind the Rampage and Juicer feature, but if you've got a PlayStation, definitely give the Diminishing Light mode a go. There's also another new mode coming, which is Outbreak Survival, although this is not coming until September 21st, along with the Numbers event within Cold War and Warzone. Not too sure why we have to wait until then specifically, but it's essentially a hardcore version of the Outbreak mode where you'll start with only a 1911 and no minimap or overhead map to guide you. Your HUD will be limited, you'll need to scavenge for food to replenish your health, and there's no auto health regen to save us in this mode. Now, that should be very, very interesting. Now, there's a few other quality of life changes that Treyarch haven't mentioned in the patch notes, but I'm going to make you aware of them anyway. The first being that you can now finally hold more than one LT-53 Casimir Gersh grenade. Before, you could only hold one, you could only craft one. Now you can craft up to 2 of them, which is fantastic. With Season 5, they reduced the cost of being able to craft it, so you can now hold 2 of them, which is really, really awesome. And if Mule Kicks effects are involved, you might even be able to hold a 3rd one. I don't know, try it out. Another interesting quality of life, which Codename Pizza made me aware of, is that Treyarch have added more time for activities in the Dark Aether on D Machina. For example, one of the most difficult time constraints is when you're trying to do the electric dye upgrade, and you have just about enough time to get the 3rd crystal sucked up by the dye before you're teleported out. But apparently now you have a lot more time to complete that, as well as any other of the Dark Aether activities, so that's really interesting. There's also been another area where time has been added, and this is on the new transport outbreak objective where you have to drive the big truck around with the Aether canisters. Apparently Treyarch have added 30 seconds of additional time onto this objective, so you have a lot more time to get this done. In its original form, you would have probably 20 to 30 seconds left at the end if you were going at peak speed, but this is obviously a very welcome change. Now, I had also heard reports that the Valentina boss fight health had been reduced, so I went into a solo and of course that 4-player hardcore mode game to test this out, and in 4 players we only had 1 wonder weapon and a ray gun, and combining Ring of Fire and just all of us going ham on Valentina, it felt easier than in the past. Like, it really wasn't that difficult even with the hardcore mode enabled. But when I tried this in solo, I had the 2nd Pack-a-Punch version of the wonder weapon, and it felt just as difficult to me as it's always been. So I don't know if maybe in co-op the health might have been changed, but in solo it feels exactly the same. So let me know if you feel any differences there, and let me know in the comments below. But with all the changes made today with Season 5 Reloaded, there is no more Outbreak maps coming to Outbreak. Armada is the final map. Treyarch have confirmed that, and they've also confirmed that our next map is going to be the finale of the Cold War Zombies saga, which is going to be very, very exciting, and we've got to see how they're going to build this up for the transition to Vanguard Zombies. But yeah, tons and tons of exciting intel that we're going to be going over the next few days, so make sure you're subscribed. If you enjoyed the video, let me know, leave a like. If there's anything you've discovered I've not mentioned, please let me know in the comments below and we'll share it with the community. And thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.